I do have actually a serious question about your football career, because we have young people who listen to this podcast, and certainly in my career, there have been times where things weren't going well, and I didn't know how that was all going to play out, where things were going to end up. And when I look at your football career, things were just going up and up and up and awesome and up, and you got injured. You came back, you got injured again. Basically, things started going down and down and down. And I have to think this was like your dream at the time, surely, to play NFL ball. And that dream was slipping away, and you didn't quit. You did not give up. You kept sort of fighting through it until it was just untenable. And I'm wondering if you would tell us a little bit about what that felt like, how you pushed through that moment. And then not even that many years later, you were a U.S. congressman. Did you, in some of those darker moments as you're in physical pain trying to rehab and stuff, did you think like, look, if this doesn't work out, it's going to be okay because I'm going to run for Congress?
Or did you think, if this doesn't work out, things can be a lot worse? I'm going to run for Congress.
So one of my good friends jokes with me. He says, "You have a way of picking horrible industries." So anyway, good question. Nobody's really asked me this publicly, but I'll just tell you. So a couple things. One, my career was basically, I had 2 years where I was healthy in the NFL, and then 3 consecutive years where I was injured. And I was a first-round pick, and if you're a first-round pick, there's a lot of internal and external pressure on you to perform at a particular level. And so when I look back on my career, I'm incredibly disappointed for how it turned out, because I feel like I let the team down and I let the city down, the city of Indianapolis. So how'd you get through that? I'll say this, not well for a period of time. When I was injured, the first year I got injured, we had just let Marvin Harrison go, Hall of Fame wide receiver. We just let Marvin Harrison go. Tony Dungy came to me and said, or as Jim Caldwell came to me and said, "Now it's your turn. You need to take that spot." Well, if you are going to be Peyton Manning's literal right-hand receiver, okay, you're probably going to have a pretty good time and catch a lot of balls and make a lot of money. I got injured, I think, on the 4th play of the season, and never made it back. The team went to the Super Bowl. The following year, I fought back and got injured in the first game again. The guy who took my spot, Pierre Garçon, who's a great guy and a great player, went on and had a nice career. And during those 3 years, honestly, I battled depression. I had all kinds of issues that I was trying to fight through. I handled it okay, but not great. And when my career ended, there was this period of time where I just didn't know who I was anymore. You just feel like you don't have friends. You don't know what you're going to do. You feel like because your whole ego is tied up in this game, and your self-confidence and self-worth. And I had already gotten into business school. I knew I was going to go to Stanford, but I didn't know anybody out there, and I'd never met anybody who went to that school. And so I didn't know what was going to happen. But eventually, what I think I figured out is you just keep moving and you keep plodding along, and you realize the world didn't end, and your friends still do actually like you, most of them anyway. And then and you try something else. And the same thing in politics, where I moved on from a business career. I got into this, and I'll say this: if I didn't have my NFL career, I don't think I could handle the stresses of this job, because the scrutiny in the NFL is similar to the scrutiny here, especially when you're not playing well. And also the fact that I've already lost a career that I loved, that I spent my whole life trying to get, and it turned out okay. And so, right or wrong, that puts me in a position where I sort of trust myself to figure it out. If I can't recover from this politically, which time will tell, I will be at peace with that, knowing that I did this the right way, or the way that I believe is right. Everybody can have a different opinion of that. But the way that in my heart I believe is correct, that I can tell my kids about someday and be proud of. And if it doesn't work, I don't know what the heck I'm going to do. I haven't spent 1 second thinking about it. But the NFL career gives me confidence to say I hope I'll be able to figure something out.